Welcome to episode 4 of the Crimeycade. After last week's nearly 3.5-hour podcast, I don't intend to go that long this week, as that was a lot longer than I expected it to go, but totally worth it. As we go from week to week, I will be bringing a variety of gamers that we should know more about and who may not get enough attention elsewhere. And there's some people I'd really like to interview who I'll interview soon. We'll see down the road, since this is the early going. If I can't get someone one week, I have strong alternatives. Be sure to give me a follow here on Twitch or subscribe if you're watching the replay on YouTube. Speaking of podcasts, Scalping Ghost may have been inspired to revive their podcast, so I'm interested in learning what all they have to say. Now, bit of an update from the first episode. I talked about Suicide Squad killed the Justice League and Sweet Baby Incorporated, ruining the game with political garbage. There's also the issue of the game being quite buggy and broken, made worse by the last update to the game. Well, the number of people playing it is plunging rapidly to the point where there's well under average of 1,000 players active in a live service game on Steam. It's so bad, players are going back to Batman Arkham Asylum or going to far better games like Final Fantasy VII Remake. As for Sweet Baby, a writer for Forbes interviewed a former developer for Rocksteady, claiming the script was written a year before they brought in a team from Sweet Baby. Then the writer, Paul Tassi, blasted right-leaning YouTubers and social media commentators for taking it too far against Sweet Baby, calling the backlash deeply stupid, and they didn't have the facts straight. Commenters on the story called out Tassi for saying that he is the one who didn't do his fact-checking. As he stated, most of the writers at Rocksteady were former associates of Sweet Baby who wrote the story. The only thing deeply stupid is a company like Sweet Baby existing in the first place, since gaming naturally appeals to everyone. In the meantime, Warner Brothers itself expressed disappointment over the sales expectations of the title. Those Hollywood studios better start ditching wokeism, because they keep losing their shirts, as they call people who rejected what they had been producing racist. Yet those same audiences are flocking to see a film about the life of legendary Jamaican singer-songwriter Bob Marley, making it the top movie in the country. I have to laugh also at Disney, who's lost half their stock value since going woke in 2021 and billions of dollars in movies no one wanted to see. Now, next, something has bugged me on another topic. Get rid of this. Something that's bugged me for quite some time, and not having a real forum to express my frustrations in the gaming side of things put me on a search for a gaming podcast so I could speak my mind about it. Found one, got on it, laid out some of my gripes, but that's been quite some time ago. For someone who's had the gaming accolades I do, you'd think I'd get booked more often, so I guess I had to create my own. And that usually what has happened every single time I want to keep doing something I like to do or show somebody how it's done, when their performance leaves much to be desired. Now, I'm not going to be tooting my own horn all the time, because that gets stale pretty quickly. Besides bragging and boasting, that should be saved for cutting promos. But a topic I want to discuss for quite some time has to do with scoring and desire to push speedrunning as the true definitive measure of skill. To the scope of the topic and how much I tend to talk about something, it seems like I need to take some more time to fully formulate my thoughts on it. Since I'm one of those score chasers at Scalping Ghost trying to get back to where I was in the power rankings, I'm right back to where I was 3 years ago in a battle against Andrew Owasco, chasing the Gamer of the Year title. Though things are quite the same this go around, as he's held it twice and I've held it once. However, I've had 4 unique titles. He's had 3. Repeat Gamers of the Year honors require doing things you didn't do the first time around. And plus, it's more than likely the belt will go to someone new if possible. I've had to reevaluate who's in contention for Gamer of the Year, as Blade Wars Tournament will not be in the equation, as not a Galloping Ghost sponsored event. It is, for all intents and purposes, an independent event hosted at the venue. But missing from the course of the season are the other tourneys that Galloping Ghost has had in prior years, like Konami Week, or Sega Week, or Atari Week, or Horror Scoring. So far, it's just been the Pinball Expo. And looking like maybe C2E2 for T20, but still waiting for the official word. So there's always gaming community activism, which during this podcast is my unique contribution. I'm going to keep running with it as I'm enjoying it and making stronger connections with other gamers. I'm also looking at all the games I've not submitted a score on and realized there's several games I played but never put a score in of any sort. So that's going to have to be dealt with, as I have to set a goal to overtake. I have set a goal to overtake Jamie Tibbetts on tokens at GGA to move to third on that metric. I'm sitting in fourth place currently. And that's what I had to do when I was getting clobbered by a bunch of top Galloping Ghost players making their way back after the pandemic. I don't know how many games, but it's several hundred. We'll have to see. I don't like divulging strategy, but it's not what I did the first time around, so it would not be a surprise if I do something similar again. My guest for tonight is one of the Blade Wars contenders. He just came off a best-of-7 championship match against Norbert Vale. Currently has a win-loss record that matches mine, actually. And to introduce the man, we're going to take a look at when he won the Hype Man Award.
Oh, the Hype Man Award. When you guys see me here, y'all should know who the real Hype Man is. I mean, but I pay very close attention to the contenders that has been bringing serious hype besides me around. But this specific member I've been watching for so long started his way from experienced fighting games, almost becoming champion. It's been so long. And that hype man for the 2023 award is Damien Cardova. Left field, make some noise! That's part of the reason why I got him the hype man award. There you go.
That's a good amount of reason why I gave him that.
There you go. There's enough.
There you go.
And here he is. Damien Cardova, welcome to the program.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
He is known as the Iron Gorilla. Now, what is the story behind that nickname?
Well, that was something that started with my son Aiden when he was younger. We would have like when we would hug, he would say, I want gorilla hugs. So, it just kind of stuck from there.
So the best of 7 was held last weekend. You played against Norbert Vale, challenging for the title outside of the usual Bloody Wars tournaments.
Yes.
Things didn't quite go your way, for all honesty. You got swept.
Yeah, the games that I actually had more experience with were actually down. There was some where there were no the button wasn't working on his side, or the moves weren't coming out on either one of our side. It was just, and we had to just keep rolling. And some of them I had like absolutely no experience in. I was just kind of like trying to fumble my way around it. So
Controller failures are not fun.
no, not at all.
because the games that were drawn that you had to throw out included a previous Bloody Wars game, Mortal Kombat 4, and WrestleMania.
Yes.
I don't know what was up with those two, but they
for some reason, the moves were coming out, and then I realized that in Mortal Kombat 4, where the jumping the diagonal wasn't going, it was just like a straight jump. So from there, we just decided to roll another game, and then we do have a bone to pick with you about putting the grid on that list.
Yes, and I got a defense for that, but one thing at a time. And Norbert has chimed in. Sucks when the buttons or sticks don't work properly.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
The other game that didn't work was Waku Waku 2. Only one side was working.
Yes.
The games that did get played, Tattoo Assassins, which was a rematch from the first Bloody Wars.
Yeah, my debut for the tournament, yes.
I have that video loaded in, but we'll get to that in a moment. What is that? 7, not 2? What does that mean?
Waku Waku 7.
Didn't I say what? I'll review the tape later. God. Royal Rumble.
Just edit that one out.
I guess. Well, there will be a little bit of editing when this goes on YouTube. Royal Rumble was drawn. That was a recent Monday Mystery game. Sonic Championship. Not something that you'd expect to encounter in the fighting game realm, but that existed.
Yeah, no, that one I didn't even know existed, to be honest with you. And then when it came up, I'm like, wait, is that a fighting game? All right, let's try it. So
the last couple, they've had that for a very long time, since the early days. Somebody did set a time record on it a few months ago to take the speed run record. So then the game that everybody is throwing a fit about, the grid.
Yes.
So why was the grid on the list? Well, the game has significant connections to the Mortal Kombat series, as 3 of the characters are hidden in the game. That would be Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Noob Sabat. It is a deathmatch game. Now, if you're talking about fisticuffs, well, there are some fisticuffs types moves. You can basically grab your opponent and throw them, or land a flying kick. But that's harder to do than just blasting them with a weapon. Now, another aspect is the grid, or at least the grid arcade machine, is featured in Mortal Kombat 11 on one of the stages. In fact,
that's right. The
stage with all the light up stage with the arcade machines in the background as the fighters are brawling on the stage. So that was why the grid was in there. And, I can see the grid in the future being in the Bloody Wars as a Bloody Wars tournament game. I mean, does it always have to be strictly a one-on-one fisticuffs brawler? Not always. Now, there's all that fuss about IFA Blitz 99 being a so-called Bloody Wars game, but that ended up being its own separate tournament, apart from Bloody Wars. And also on that list, Super Puzzle Fighter, which is the Street Fighter characters delivering moves against each other as you're eliminating jewels on the screen. So that's also on the list. And that could be a Bloody Wars game in the future. Not Tetris, as Jose keeps...
Jose will be stoked to hear that.
Yeah, it will not be... Tetris is not going to be on there. Puzzle Fighter could be in the future. also I note the Grid was the very last arcade game released by Midway before they were bought out, I think. So that's why the Grid was on the list and it is a very popular game at Galvin Ghost. There are always people on it every time I'm there.
Oh yeah, when I went against Norbert in that one, we actually had to wait a couple rounds because um when it rolled, people were already on it, and then while we were in the middle of a match, a couple of people jumped on, so we had to wait them out and let them just duke it out, and we just kind of sat back and watched.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I did see on Facebook Marketplace a 3-player Grid show up. It can be yours for $12,000. That's yeah, it's a very popular game, and somebody had 3-player. That's half the Grid right at Galvin Ghost. They have a 3-player Grid linked up with another 3-player, and yeah, that's quite a bit of chunk of change.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you, your first experience. What was your first experience with an arcade game?
Oh wow, we're going way back. I gotta say it was probably probably like Donkey Kong, Galaga, one of those. It's been so long I couldn't even tell you, but one of the classic ones that was probably one of my first experiences with arcades. And I instantly fell in love, so I just kept going and plopping my quarters in, and rest is history.
Is that like the 1980s or 90s?
The
That
80s.
the 80s?
80s. Yeah.
Yep. So what are some of the arcades that yeah, the places you went to back then in the 80s? And where did you find these arcades? Were they in the Chicago area, or were you
Uh,
residing somewhere else at the time?
no, it's Chicago area. I mean, there was Dennis's, there was Nickel City, there was Diversions. I'm pretty sure that's the name people haven't heard in a good long time. Um, and there's some like little mall arcades like Bricktown Square, and I believe there was another one in Norridge somewhere. But yeah,
Lens Castle. Ever
yes,
been to one of those? Yep.
yes,
So what was your first experience with a console? Let's say Atari, Nintendo,
Atari,
uh, Atari
yeah,
2600.
yes.
What was your favorite games on those?
I gotta say, I liked Pitfall. That was, I mean, that was my thing. I just kind of liked playing with that one. It gave me that Indiana Jones vibe. So I was a fan of those movies too.
Now, what drew you to fighting games in particular?
Um, I forget what it was called here, but it was called PC Engine. It had the little cards. Um, the games were actually on cards. But yeah, it was called PC Engine. And actually, one of my neighbors had one, and we would just we would play on net. I believe it was the if I'm not mistaken, it was the first Street Fighter um,
They
that was
called it
on
Fighting
that one.
Street.
Fighting Street, yes.
I don't know why they flipped the name around, but yeah, Norbert notes it was the TurboGrafx 16.
That's that's what it's called here. But yeah, he had the PC Engine one. So a lot of the stuff was in a lot of stuff was in Japanese. So at the time, it was like, yeah, okay, let's play this. We can't read anything a bit, but let's play.
So played those fighting games, Fighting Street, and then from there, what are some of the other fighters that you played early on? I mean, I assume Street Fighter 2, and then
Yes.
others. Anything that drew
Yeah,
you?
yeah. There was Street Fighter 2. I mean, pick a fighting game from SNK. I mean, I was playing those. Um, then you had like Darkstalkers and so on and so forth. I mean, but and then yeah, I believe it was the mid to late 90s when the first Mortal Kombat came out, and it's like, oh, you have finishing moves here? Okay, let's do that.
Now you're training the next generation of players, and
Yes.
you've developed the father-son rivalry. Um, oops, didn't mean to throw that up there. Aiden's gotten pretty good, and he's been dubbed the Gorilla Kids. So how have how have you taught him, and how far is he along compared to your
Well,
fighting game prowess? You're on mute.
yeah, I would say that for his current age now, he's kind of surpassed me. Um, like, you know, from when I was his age. Um, I mean, the only way he could go is up. Um, and I mean, the kid's got a lot of heart. And as far as training him goes, I mean, it's pretty much the way I was trained. Is like, okay, well, the person that's training you is just going to kick your ass until you learn. I mean, that's pretty much how I learned. That's how I taught him, and then that was pretty much how it went.
So I do have video. This is the only match so far at Bloody Wars where you battled Aiden. Let's take a look and kind of describe what's happening.
Oh, Zillini again? Uh-oh.
Aiden versus Damien. Father versus son match once again.
All
right, let's get it going.
All right. Another father and son battle.
Mortal Kombat
I don't know
4.
how we keep getting this, man. I didn't even do the bracket. Like, I didn't even set this up.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it is.
This is random chance. All right, who do we got? Damien has...
Pretty much, Norbert. It was just like that.
Tanya versus Liu Kang. Aiden
with Tanya, Liu Kang with
Aiden.
So yeah,
and
this one when we were practicing, we actually kind of
both hits
practiced
from
separate.
both participants.
That way, so we didn't like see what the other was doing and kind of like figure out the other strategy.
So Tanya was your fighter. Liu Kang was his. I used him as well.
She'll remember that. Anyways, half of a bar left from Liu Kang.
And just for this particular game, I mean, Tanya was one of my main characters. I mean, Scorpion was always a main until I want to say they nerfed him in 11, but we don't talk about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he does.
Although they portrayed Scorpion not as a undead creature wearing a mask, he was a fully alive human being, and they used his alter ego name, Hanzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would. Little bit of it was a change that needed. I mean, we wanted to see the human side of Scorpion because he's always been this tragic undead character who lost his family.
Yeah. I just think as far as like moves and whatnot, they kind of nerfed it, and
Once you figure
you
out,
know
how do you
instead of
grab
using the
someone,
spirits to kind of like start the combo, they just like
yes, they
used it
are.
as a regular move to like slice behind the back. So
There's another one. But Luke Cage.
And
yeah, Norbert, I did not toss him off the cliff. But I kind of threw him in the deep end by
They probably
you know
practice
talking about entering this tournament with me. But
they're father and son, so they probably got some good matches.
so this is round one of that 2 out of 3, and you're each got a fall here.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Oh, and another throw.
He just did a
All the
backbreaker.
skills, man, that we're seeing.
yeah,
And this is the first ever 3D fighter towards Mortal Kombat.
So I see those overhead fireballs. That was very remnant of
Pretty much advantages.
or Akuma kind of stole that
Yeah.
when they did Street Fighter Third Strike.
Damien's on his
yeah.
last hit.
This one we're pretty much just trying to zone each other because
Will he pull something away here? Nice jump kick from Damien. He's
like
in
just
danger mode.
getting up
Luke
close. I mean,
Cage
you have that
moving on.
grab where you just kind of like break bones and stuff, which takes a lot of damage.
It takes the first fall or first match,
Same characters?
and you did a switch up here. Now you went with Scorpion. Did you think you had a better shot with Scorpion than Tanya at the time, or?
Yeah, I did actually. I you know when I first went against them, I'm like, you know what, I really don't want to do that, and then when he got over on me, I'm like, you know what, all right, I'm doing it.
Combo from Damien. 18% more damage.
And it looks like you're coming back here. There you go.
Scorpion picking up
Got that first fall.
with Damien on his side. We're witnessing round number 2.
So this is a long way from being over.
Oh, and a
Yeah.
nicely spear connecting with a combo. 6-hit combo from Scorpion.
See, right there, yes, Scorpion dominating. This fighter switch sometimes is the best thing to do if it's not working out with your original choice.
Yeah, it's always good to have a backup plan, especially in fighting games.
I don't know, for some reason, I stick with the same character. I just get good with one and just stick with it the entire tournament. If I do switch it around, I might. It may not go as well. It's kind of a gamble, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in some cases it is a gamble. I mean, especially you know, I know that a good strategy is get good with one particular character, and then just go there. I mean, I just try to have variety. Well, this character works against this person, you know, and so on. If you know, for different strategies.
And Aiden got the victory there. Just pulled it off with that uppercut out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Toss him off the cliff. Well, they toss him in a pit instead with spikes at the bottom. But, oh. Well, anyway, cutting promos. Now, you're known for, I don't know how many promos you've cut, but you definitely kind of fire up the crowd when you make your entrance, grab the mic, and just kind of do it like a pro wrestler does.
Yeah, you know what? That actually kind of came out of nowhere when I first did it. I'm just like, you know what? You know, I should just try something. You know, try something else. You know, grab the microphone, just get everyone going. You know, and you know, make this pregame show just like a rock concert. Get everyone like amped up to be there and compete and watch. So that was where my headspace was when I first did it, and then it just kind of stuck.
How many? You've done a few promos, not a whole lot. Certainly not the long-winded ones I do. Yeah, where I go about 15, 20 minutes, half an hour.
I try to keep it short and sweet.
Robert says the stream froze. We're still going. I didn't notice a freeze up, but we're good here. Now during one of these, during one of the pre-shows, you walked up to me right after my interview. I was holding 2 belts at the time.
Yes.
And you gave me you threw out the challenge for the hardcore belt. We drew Colony 7.
To be honest, I was not even expecting to do that. Sometimes sometimes I'm just like, yeah, well, will people like just jump up and scream about that? Would people in the live chat say something? Like would they get amped up just watching us, watching us talk or whatnot? And I'm like, okay, let's see if they'll get hyped up for that, and throw something else in the pregame show,
Well, everybody likes the belts and likes seeing challenges and confrontations. Being that I was a big fan of the pro wrestling scene for so many years, there's a lot of that rubbed off into the gaming world. Were you a big wrestling fan?
Yes, I was actually. It kind of like I kind of fell off of watching. I kind of fell off of watching wrestling for a while, and then just little bits here and there I'll catch like on a short or something like that. Just highlights. But yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, probably up until like the late 90s, I was really big into wrestling, and that I watched like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on, just religiously.
Now, one of the games was, Royal Rumble. That was pretty much during the peak of the Attitude Era. That was when you came to the end, I guess, got disinterested in it, or were you well into that?
Actually, life just got busier. That was pretty much what it was. I mean, that was, it started with, working Monday nights. I'm like, I can't watch Raw anymore. And then, it just kind of like I was picking up more hours, and then I couldn't watch SmackDown anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'll just hear things like Ross Report or whatnot, and then, it just kind of like gradually went down from there.
Who was your favorite?
Oh man. I'd have to say I can't definitively say like one particular favorite. I mean, you know, definitely Undertaker, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean that's just a few off the top of my head that that I was really a fan of.
So Colony 7, you did beat me. You never played it before. What did you think of Colony 7?
I thought it was fun. I actually had I had a blast playing against you, and it was a fun game, and you know I had never played it before that time, and I was just like, all right, let's see how we do.
And from there, marched into the stream, the Blade War stream, with the belt. You got challenged.
Yes.
I don't remember who challenged you.
With that belt. It was actually Jose, and it was it was a it was a shooter game. It was like airplane Galaga kind of shooter game, I believe. And yeah, I got smoked in that one. But yeah, we're I forget which one it was. I can't remember because that it was such a blur. Everyone was challenging everyone for that hardcore title, and um, yeah, I think I had won it twice, 3 times that night.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad that because the hardcore title, it gets hot and it gets cold.
Yeah.
That stream made it hot again, and you know, I'm glad to see it. Glad to see it get some action because on the weekends it doesn't really get action, and it's just basically been a Monday thing for the past several months.
Oh yeah. That it was funny because during our best of seven, I actually challenged JP. I forget what the game was. Um, yeah, my memory is horrible, but short term memory is just bad. But um, yeah, he beat me, retained the hardcore title, and then we had the best of seven, and then after that, Norbert had challenged him for the hardcore title, and what happened to Roll? Power Stone. JP beat Norbert for the hardcore title. I think when I went in for the Monday Mystery, um, uh, Brandon had it.
So we got a little bit of news here. You see on the screen, Blade Wars Tournament, St. Patrick's Day. Well, I have to change this a little bit because this is no longer accurate. They changed the times here.
Oh yeah, they changed it. The pregame is at 1 o'clock, and the actual tournament's at 3.
So there it is. Oops, that's not it. So that means I gotta bust my tail and get up there by 1 o'clock on Sunday. Uh, Good grief. Yeah. I've said I was not going to do 1-day trips up to Galvin Ghosts. The time after I said I would not do it anymore, the next Blade Wars tournament, I did it again after going to St. Louis the previous day to do some videography. I must be a glutton for punishment or something.
Yeah, kind of a masochist, but that's all right.
I don't know about masochist, but I would take the day.
Go ahead.
I'd burn a vacation day the next day, but there's something else going on late in March, and I kind of want to be. I'm looking at taking a couple of vacation days in the last week of March because I'm thinking someone's going to make an appearance that I've talked about on a previous podcast. I think somebody's going to make an appearance there after he has his matches in Rockford and
I know exactly
Chicago.
I know exactly who you're talking about. And I've seen the chat, so I won't say any more about it.
But I'm hoping he does make an appearance because he's held the hardcore title, but he's never played any of the elite players of Galloping Ghost, me being one of them. So I've wanted to challenge him and see how good he really is against the top gamers. But I don't know if he's going. And I have a promo taped, but I haven't sent it over yet. Hopefully soon, now that I've kind of, because I'm trying to learn DaVinci Resolve on this new Windows 11 machine, which is a video editor.
Yeah, we use it here too.
I need a tutor because I cut my teeth on Pinnacle Studio. I don't know all the equivalent stuff yet, and they make you use the mouse, not the keyboard, as much. So
Yeah, I mean we're still learning and evolving and trying to make sure that that it works the way we want it to. So yeah, we do have a channel right here on Twitch and on YouTube as well. We do live streams, games, and interviews as well.
Go ahead and give you a Twitch channel. We'll follow it.
Okay, it's gonna be Twitch TV. Here I will see if I could put this up here. Give me 1 second. I got to go through my messages.
And looks like we
All right.
got some more comments. Strive Ryu says he walked into a third strike tournament holding the hardcore title. As for the tournament on St. Patrick's Day, some of us worked till 4 a.m. Yeah, I thought I got put through
I've
the
got
ringer
that,
tonight. Got that in the
so
stream.
that's,
I'll put
I
that
can
up.
post links on this. Can I post links on the
Yep,
on
should
the
be
chat?
able to. Should be able to.
All right.
We're working on that. There is, let's see, where's that video? Oh, here we go. One of your previous battles, as you're trying to get that link up, King Cam Blackman, who somehow beat me recently and beat the defending champion recently. You had a match with him. There we go. Let's take a look at that one. This was since Norbert mentioned Street Fighter 3. This was your battle with King Cam Blackman.
Ryu, yes, indeed.
What are your thoughts about King Cam? It's like 3.5 hours last week on the stream.
Test, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'm on commentary, so I better lower this down a little bit.
Anyways.
You chose Akuma.
Yeah, I was starting off trying to zone him, see what he was feel him out, see what he was gonna do here.
Thank you, love, for checking.
Ended up using Akuma the entire tournament.
Just texted me and said that, so.
It's because of that fireball. The fireballs or his attacks are more powerful than Kin or Ryu, or at least it seemed that way. Especially Raging Demon, that finisher.
Oh, Brandon.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that other one where he kind of like raises his hand and just like punches the ground and his wave comes out. That one's like almost impossible to parry. I haven't done it myself.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, where he jumps in the air and then just slams the ground and just creates an earthquake all around. Yep. I tried to do that move. I just couldn't pull it off for some reason.
Damien, not Aiden.
Yeah, I got the names mixed up somehow. I don't know how, but I am an experienced commentator, just not on video games. Just calling play-by-play of wrestling matches for so long.
Calling you out already, Brandon.
And then
all 3 scores are in.
Brandon, for some reason, goes to Alex, which was the fighter that Izzy mistakenly chose. He thought he could have better luck with him. I don't know why, but
All you Shima players, we'd like to have you come out to the arcade Galloping Ghost and put in a score for Arcade Wars. As right
Yeah,
now,
this tournament here was fun. I mean, most of these games that that get picked, I mean, win, lose or draw, it's actually pretty fun. I mean, I have a good time, so I mean, that's basically what I'm there for. Just see what everyone's got and have a blast doing it.
blocks that fireball.
Brandon's using a different character though.
Yeah,
What is he?
absolutely.
Not dragon.
Gotta jump over that. Oh,
Wow.
no. Kept blocking those fireballs, couldn't jump them. Now King Cam is on the brink.
So far you've been dominating this matchup, even after that shocking upset.
King Cam.
I couldn't believe Izzy lost.
And
Got beat 2 straight, really. And
You know,
it's over.
that's the thing with fighting games is you never know. I mean, it could at any given time it could be someone's day to shine. So
If I knew Izzy was going to go down that quick, I would have faced him in round 1 because they initially were going to put me in round 1, and I saw that. It's like, I do not. That is probably not the best thing for me is to face the champ in the first round. I was willing to face him in the second round, and then I got surprised that, oh, I'm not facing this Izzy. I'm facing that Izzy. Israel B, and he, the very first Blade Wars champion, I was like, caught me by surprise. I was like, I thought, wait, what's he doing here?
Yeah, they kind of made a mistake there.
I don't know if they made a mistake. I just wasn't paying attention. It's like I did not know that the champ went down in round 1. It's like, wow, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is. There's always like it doesn't matter about like you could have the most skill in whatever game it is. There's always that element of luck too that people tend to overlook.
Speaking of Street Fighter, so I had this question later, but I might as well ask it now. After Mortal Kombat 1, what do you think the next Blade Wars game should be?
Oh, what do I think?
Yes. If you got to pick the game.
If I got to pick the game, I'd have to say, for me personally, I would say throw every name of every oddball fighting game that you have on the arcade floor, throw it into a hat and pull. I think that a lot of the lesser known fighting games don't get enough they don't get enough exposure.
And there's some prototype fighters in the mix, and Tattoo
Yes.
Assassins being one of them.
Yes. Yeah, so I'd say like pick just go for an oddball, lesser known one. Because again, it throws that element of luck. Yeah, you might know the game, you might know the moves, but then everyone else kind of like is in the same boat you are. Especially with a lesser known fighting game.
So what are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 1? There's been a lot of chatter on this game in the face of it versus Tekken 8. They just finally announced the debut of Peacemaker, and I guess he has been released finally.
Yeah, I think he officially
Can't see me.
Yeah, he officially gets released tomorrow, I think. But for anyone that bought the combat pack, got him yesterday. So we were playing around with him yesterday. It's actually pretty funny. I mean, he talks crap throughout the entire round, especially when he lands a move.
Yeah, it's like, okay, am I fighting the Peacemaker, or am I fighting John Cena, or am I fighting both? And
the answer to that is yes.
So I'm just wondering how many players are going to lose to Peacemaker because they can't see him on the screen.
I don't know.
So what are your thoughts about MK1 versus Tekken 8 chatter. I've kind of been bringing this up every podcast so far, starting with JP, and I did that montage of all different YouTubers. There's still videos coming out. It's kind of divided over Peacemaker too. What are your thoughts?
I'd have to say that every fighting game has its place. It has its fan base, and there's room for. I mean, for me, I gotta say, there's room for every different fighting game. For every different occasion. So, you know, yeah. I mean, I don't do Tekken much, but I saw the graphics. I saw some of the gameplays. I think it's a pretty good game. I mean, it's a solid one. So the only problem that I have with Mortal Kombat is just the monetization. Like they went super aggressive with the microtransactions and the DLC and stuff like that. I think they just went a little too aggressive with it. I mean, come on, you have to buy, fatalities. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Um, um, there was also a new issue. I hadn't even heard of this, but there's an issue where players cannot crossplay between the PS5, the PC, or Xbox One. So if you're an MK1 player with a PS5,
Yeah.
you can't play somebody with an Xbox One. Other fighters do not have this issue, and they're setting up online tournaments based on what system you have, giving preference to one over the other. Um,
Well, I mean, here now, that's kind of what got me really irritated about the consoles. I mean, I think as far as consoles go, I think the consoles I have right now are the last ones I'm gonna get, unless there's something that I really, really, a game that I really want that badly. But yeah, I think we're gonna be sticking to PC for uh, for fighting games and what have you.
and plus, you can get these. Well, you can see what I have. This thing, the X
Yeah,
Arcade,
yeah,
is built like a tank. Very arcade controls, arcade buttons. Um, Very durable, very bulky too. Perfect for the fighters.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I heard nothing but good things about that controller. So, I mean,
So, Mortal Kombat 1, any premonition on which character you're going to use, or is it going to be a secret, like you've said in previous tournaments?
so I'm gonna leave that one a secret. But what I will tell you is that I'm experimenting with a few characters right now.
Do you? So, me. How do you? So, do you go back? This is another thing I kind of remember. So, the moves, or at least executing the moves, you apparently have to relearn everything from scratch. They didn't kind of keep
Yes.
the move set from previous Mortal
Nope.
Kombat, so
They.
you have to learn a new combination of joint inputs versus
Oh yeah.
Tekken.
You know what? I think that's actually pretty good. Starting over, I'm glad that they went that route. Because it was just, um, it levels it out. You know, so yeah, if you know how to use this character and say 11, yeah, you're gonna have to start over with one. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just like how the canon of the game itself. everything just got reset.
So that is the first positive review of that setup that I've heard, and I don't think that's said by too many people.
I kind of like to look at things from a different angle, different perspective, and see like, okay, well, what were they trying to accomplish here? And yeah, I think it was pretty smart on their part since they were starting over. To yeah, just start over with the whole move set and everything. Yeah, some people that are, veterans and the older ones, they're gonna say, "Oh, I hate this, it's garbage." You know, um, but if you look at it from this is a new game. This isn't the same game that you got, you know, from Midway when it was, more more or less a pinball machine company. Um, and just kind of like ventured over into video gaming. This is like a whole new company, a whole new staff. Everything is just like they just started over.
So, is there anybody that you want to call out for the Mortal Kombat tournament? I'm not sure who's entering. I assume Norbert Vale will be back. I'm expected to be back. Aiden is expected to be in this. Probably
Aiden
Brandon Travis,
and
King Cam.
Aiden, possibly Devin. That's my youngest. Um, and as far as calling someone out, I guess everyone. I'm coming for you.
Do you think? So is that no one in particular you want, but you
Nope, I want a piece of
no
everybody.
preference. You want a piece of
Bring it.
everybody. I can't seem to recall. Have we played each other yet? Apart in the tournament?
Never.
Never. Okay. And yes, Mrs. Vale will also be at the tournament. So I got one more video. Did I show this yet? Yeah, it's so this was your battle with against Norbert Vale. One of them. Tattoo Assassins, you played him 3 times. He knocked you into the losers bracket.
And away they go.
He knocked you into the losers bracket early,
Right.
but you fought your way
Get ready to
all
kill,
the way to
guys.
the final.
Damien in blue, Norbert in green.
It was the second match between you two.
We could see a decent matchup so
Now,
far.
you both chose Carla.
Jose rooting for Norbert.
What was the rationale for choosing Carla?
Seen them use Norbert. I'm sorry, excuse me.
I actually had the most experience with her, so it was only fitting that I just picked the character whose moves I knew the most.
We've seen so many crazy things.
And that ice ball was just deadly.
Norbert coming back.
Everybody that I saw play with
Blue and green Carlo before, and seeing it all again.
a lot of tentative, just kind of a lot of guarding.
As once before.
Yeah,
trying to get those hits in with those kicks with those skates.
Trying to get an opening and then hit a move.
yeah, and the chip damage on that is a little unforgiving.
I did play with Billy Two Moons in this tournament. Kind of played, kind of somewhat like Noob Sabat, or had Noob Sabat, a couple of moves that Noob Sabat had. Okay, you won that match, I think.
Yes.
So Norbert says there was a bit of controversy in the grand finals.
Yes.
Boy, I don't seem to remember that. What happened?
Yeah, that was kind of behind the scenes. I mean, we had to watch the replay several times to make sure, because JP and King were talking amongst each other
Keeping it spaced apart.
um,
The champion might be in
during the
danger.
match.
Oh,
So
oh,
Losing
block.
again, uppercuts.
Oh, this is a block
you know
again.
what happened was they kind of missed some stuff going on. So
Pressure's on.
Uh-oh.
that was what happened there.
The champion might be in trouble.
So they looked away from the screen, and then the
Yeah,
match was over, and they did not know what happened.
pretty much.
Just try.
I mean, we were paying attention, but I mean, in the heat of the moment, I mean, we were just like, okay, we we got to go get after it.
Norbert won that round there.
Yes.
I don't know why the game reboots after it goes to, when it tries to go to the continue screen, it reboots. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, it's one of those, one of those prototype glitches. I mean,
But
it even did it even did that for the emulator too when you were playing two players, unless you were going through the entire game. When you were trying to actually play against the computer itself.
although they had this game at Midwest Gaming Classic, it did not do this, but there was also after, I guess, there's like newspaper headlines involving the character you were playing as. Whether you won or lost, you got a newspaper headline.
Yeah.
But this did not do this. Well, that other game did not reboot either. It stayed stable. I don't know if it's a ROM version or if there was some sort of issue with the board itself. Kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
With the ice kicks from Norbert.
Ice kicks.
Disney World, yeah.
Yeah.
Damien, deadly uppercut. 10 seconds away.
Got him on the brink here. And he was too slow to get at you, and it looked like a tie, but you won.
Yes.
I guess a point of health greater than Norbert, and you got the victory on that one. Hide that there. Then you had a immediate rematch.
Yeah.
Because you had one loss, and that actually was the first time that Norbert Vale lost a match in Blade Wars.
Yes.
But rarely. Oh, that's what it was. Well, yeah, I don't know what. There you have it. So future goals. Well, so MK1 is on St. Patrick's Day. After that, Combo Breaker is coming up in Schaumburg, Memorial Day weekend. There's also weekly tournaments, and there's one going on right now at the Region Esports Center in Dyer, Indiana, with their tournaments going on tonight. Any other tournaments you're looking to enter besides Bloody Wars?
I'm actually considering Combo Breaker. I kind of waited too long to go to Frosty. So I didn't get a chance to go to that one. So I'm probably going to do that one next year. And yeah, I'm just going to keep my eyes open and see what's going around town.
Future goals. Do you have any goals at Galvin Ghost besides the fighting games? Are you looking to take any scores on the fighters?
I might play around and see what see which ones I could actually grab a score at. If I feel a little confident, then yeah, I'll try to put my name up on the board.
What's your favorite fighter currently?
Favorite fighter, Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6. Let's see.
And I've been wanting Doc to get that one in there for a while. Ever since I saw the
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that they were making cabinets out of Japan. The only problem with those is that it's like 5, where you have to have two cabinets back to back or side to side. It's not just one.
Who is Ed?
No, I have not had the chance to play Ed in Street Fighter 6. It's the newest character in Street Fighter 6. We didn't get there yet because we've been playing Mortal Kombat and setting up for our streams in here. So I've had quite a bit on my plate right now.
All right. So we've come to the end. The podcast. Released a couple days ago. Who do you think I should bring on as the next guest for the Crimeycade?
I think you should ask Jose Velasquez.
All right. Yeah, he popped in. He popped into the podcast last week. I definitely would like to bring him in sometime in the near future. I do want to note that I do have my next guest booked for March the 7th. Surprise, surprise. Sam Cohn.
Oh, Samantha. Nice.
It was suggested King Cam nominated her. She has agreed to come on. She departed Blade Wars as the hostess and interviewer. She's willing to come on the podcast. We'll have a chat and we'll talk about her digital media artistry because she's got a number of things going.
Yes.
So her schedule
very
is busy. But that's not all. I have one other announcement of a future guest. March 14th, I'll be bringing this gentleman in. He's connected to me. Paul Tessie, known as Mega Retro Man on Twitch, is the world record holder on multiple Nintendo competition cartridges, including the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge, which was the tournament that I won. 32 years ago? Yeah, 32 years
Time
ago.
flies.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, yeah. And I'm also, I'll mention that in a minute. I'd like to, at some point, do a round table. Have a bunch of people in. Once I get subscribed to StreamYard, get a bunch together. Maybe people who went to Midwest Gaming Classic that I know, kind of note what they kind of share experiences, things they acquired. It's always a fun time. The fastest 48 hours of the year. Have you been to Midwest Gaming?
I have not. When I found out about it, I think they were only doing invitational, and I mean, I don't play Smash competitively, so I mean that was kind of why I was like, I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, it's a wonder they've not done an arcade version of Smash yet.
That would be interesting.
I don't know if Nintendo would do it though. I mean, they got Mario Kart. Why not Smash?
I mean, they've done Mario Kart. I mean, might as well.
I mean, they could link up a bunch of cabinets and just 2 on each piece.
Yeah,
I
like
think it just,
yeah, just kind of have them all in a row or something, or whatnot.
all right. There's one other thing. Kind of an update on the scoring tournaments that are going on. Galvin Ghost looks like they're going to win the Punisher. Andrew Owasco put in a new score today and raised it up a little bit. So unless Garcade in the next, less than 2 hours puts up 5 million somehow, Galvin Ghost has got this. So I'm happy to see that. Have you played the Punisher?
Oh, ages ago. I think I played it once or twice when it first came out. I haven't tried it, but yeah, I haven't played that one in years.
And do you play? You think? Yeah, that's some of the scores you could go after. The beat 'em ups. Any favorite beat 'em ups?
Oh man, I mean, there's Final Fight. There's um, what was it? The X-Men, um,
Yeah, the
the
6-player
big four,
cabinet.
the big 6 player X-Men game. Yeah, there's a few of them that are out there that I would definitely like to try out.
One other high score tournament, and this is one that's local to me. Um, Dumb Records in Springfield is doing a high score tournament on the classic Sega racing game known as Turbo. I have the high score at just under 29,000 points.
Nice.
The house high at Galvin Ghost is held by Andrew Wasco. He has 51,000 points on it. I might go on Turbo again. I don't know if I can get 51,000 points, but if I play it long enough, maybe I can get good enough to start challenging Andrew on that one. I don't know. Need a little bit of inspiration, I guess. Let's see if there's anything else that I needed to share before we get out of here. Anything else you want to share before we get out of here, or it's like any past gaming stories or exploits that you haven't told us about yet?
Oh man. I I gotta say there's quite a few of them that I mean when I used to play with these guys, we used to play on Sundays, and yeah, I think this one guy, he was just a monster in Marvel versus Capcom, and I actually beat him by dumb luck and button mashing. um, but that was probably like the first and last time that I actually got him. Then we switched to Capcom versus SNK 2, and that's a whole story for another time.
I know somebody held a fighting game tournament recently. DSP held a tournament at
Yeah,
his place, and it went to, the early morning hours. Was it 2 or 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning? That was a long tournament.
yeah,
You think you'd,
yeah,
they awarded a trophy for that, I believe.
yeah. He actually did take pictures of the trophy. I believe he posted it on Facebook. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Um, but yeah, he posted the pictures and had a trophy. I mean, I wish I had known about it beforehand. I probably would have thrown my hat in the ring too. Um, but yeah, I found out about it later on, and I'm like, oh, cool. I'll cheer these guys on. Why not?
7 hours. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could stick around for 7 hours straight waiting my turn at a tournament, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in Bloody Wars, we do wait quite a while for our number to come up to play. I mean, it's just we don't really think about it. We're just watching the matches, and so the time really does fly, and you know, we're just having a blast. Whether we're playing or watching them play, watching other people play. So we don't realize that we've been there for 4 or 5 hours. I usually get there before the pregame show because um oh, funny story, I'll get back to that in a second. But that I'm a little concerned that I'm gonna miss it, um like I did the tournament prior to Tattoo Assassins. um that was the one that I was actually going to that was going to be my debut. However, that tournament went by so fast that it was over by the time I got there.
That was Power Stone, right?
Yes, it was Power Stone.
I think there was only 4 or 5 entries into that one.
Yeah, but uh I found out that there was only a few, and yeah, I was bummed that I missed it. So now when it's tournament day, when it's Bloody Wars day, um I try to get there, you know, like about an hour or so prior to the pregame show, just to make sure that nothing happened. Call it FOMO
And
if you want, but
and now you're gonna have to show up earlier because
yeah,
I mean they moved it up 2 hours.
yeah.
Um, yeah, 200-mile
But we'll
commute.
yeah we'll be there though, and yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's you know when I'm I'm there with everyone. It doesn't seem like it's like I'm there all day, but really I am. you know.
Although there is one difference between doing it at the Galloping Ghost and this one gentleman's, I think it says residence. Um, you have a lot. There's a lot more room at Galloping Ghost, and you're kind of confined in a much smaller building. You do have stuff you could distract yourself with if you're not having conversations with other gamers or watching the action. But
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we do stand there and yeah, we jaw jab, and we talk and all that stuff while we're watching. So I mean, it's that's I guess that's part of how what makes it go by so fast in our minds. But we're actually sometimes waiting like 15-20 minutes, half hour, for our next match. And then it just seems like once we're in there and we're playing, it's like pop pop pop, we're done.
yeah, that's probably going to be. I can't imagine how many people are going to enter Combo Breaker, and they're like, there's multiple fighting games going to be in this tournament, like a dozen or 2 dozen. Uh, I don't know how many players are in each particular game, but that has to be a long day for whoever. And they probably have to jump back and forth, but they also have to pay attention as to when their name gets called on this game before they have to go over to this game and that game and that game.
Yeah, especially if you enter multiple games, if you if you're competing with different games, you have to like listen for your name and hope you don't miss the match like down the way a bit.
All right. Um, your YouTube channel, not YouTube channel, your Twitch channel, I'm going to put that back up on the screen. Be sure to subscribe to Iron Gorilla. How often do you stream?
Every Friday at 8 o'clock.
All right, I better subscribe then.
Yes, we'll have another stream this Friday at 8 o'clock. And my wife and my sister-in-law will be joining on that one. They'll be voice calling while we're playing the game and just kind of like having a conversation and just kind of hanging out. It's just laid back. We're not, you know, we're not
Any
like on
game,
any sort of timetable or anything like that, you know.
any game in particular you plan to stream that will be the featured attraction?
Well, I just did World of Horror. That one is on that one's on my YouTube channel. I did that one, and I was kind of like goofing off, and and my daughter helps me out with my channels too, so you could hear her kind of like chiming in too, so we kind of feed off of each other at that point. And and yeah, I mean, we just have fun, just even if I'm not like winning the game, if I'm just like getting demolished or whatever, I'm just we're just having a good time.
All right, Damien Cardova, the Iron Gorilla. I want to thank you for joining me on the fourth episode of the Crimeycade. We'll have Samantha Cohn in next week.
I'll be tuning in for that one.
Thank
you for having me.
Thank you. She'll be here next week. I am the former Gamer of the Year, Stephen Lucas, the current reigning Pinball Expo champion. Hopefully, I'm going to add more belts sometime in the near future. But we'll have to see how things go. But next week, yes, March the 7th, we will be back with Samantha Cohn. And then after that, it'll be the Mega Retro Man. Paul Tessie will be on the 14th. Strider you, Norbert Vale says, see you guys on the 17th. I will see you then as well. Until next time, I hope to see you around the arcade soon. And yes, the Iron Gorilla, Damien Cardova, will be there with bells on. Until next time, have a good night, everybody.